I have to pause a minute this morning and acknowledge yet another act of gun violence in our schools. It's becoming almost common, but this time it was here in St. Louis. As a retired teacher, my heart aches for the students, the parents, the staff at the school. Although I had no children of my own biologically, as a teacher, I had hundreds of students, and I can imagine the sorrow. And as well, the brazen attack on the husband of one of our national leaders in his home. This brings to mind a hymn. I want to share a verse of it with you that describes how I feel about Trinity. There's a place of quiet rest near to the heart of God, a place where sin cannot molest, near to the heart of God. O Jesus, blessed Redeemer, sent from the heart of God, hold us who wait before thee, near to the heart of God. Trinity has been a place of quiet rest for me for over 40 years. I came here as a fairly young woman, not yet 30, and my life has been shaped over the decades by the people in this community of faith, by the evidence of God's presence in their lives, by the leaders, by the strong women in particular who were role models for me, the thoughtful preaching, the fresh interpretation and thoughtful exploration of the meaning of ancient texts that sometimes felt like they excluded me. I treasure all my years here. I have become the person that God meant me to be, and I am still becoming because of this community of faith. I am delighted, of course, at the barriers that this congregation has broken down, defying Presbyterian and national orders and brazenly ordaining openly gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgendered people in this church, risking losing our endowment by so doing, but also working toward the change and the ultimate reform of that policy. That's what I treasure about this congregation and about the Reformed tradition. We are reformed and we continue to be reforming ourselves and our church. More important is the outreach of this congregation. This is where I first saw people living out what it means to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with God. It is articulated repeatedly here, and it's very close to my heart. This is a congregation that lives out that command as best we can, always trying to do better, reformed and reforming. I've seen children become actually welcome in worship over the decades. Some of you might find it hard to believe that they weren't always welcome. They weren't quiet. The chairs didn't fit them, and they got a little restless, and we didn't accommodate their needs. And now we try to do that better. I delight in seeing young people participating in worship, leading worship, being acknowledged, just as we stand with and acknowledge all marginalized people in our society. To me, that's the essence of Trinity, the open arms, the arms including people, bringing people in, embracing people, not pushing them away. So what about pledging? Well, I've always pledged. It's in my DNA. I will say this, for most of us, giving at church is an act of gratitude. It's a response to the blessings that we have in this place and in our lives. Pledging is one step further. It's a commitment. It helps the people, our leaders, our elected leaders in our congregation, make informed decisions about financial matters. It enables them to know how much money there is to work with. And in my view, the pledge is my way of making a further commitment. You can count on this. I will do this. Brings to mind the popular refrain in pledge campaigns on National Public Radio, one of my favorite hangouts. I value the programming and I want it to continue. And so I'll just close with a reminder that what has always stood out to me in this congregation and what we want to keep doing and can ensure that we keep doing through our pledges is to do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with our God. Please prayerfully consider making a pledge. Thank you.